So we're going to go through one after the other all the basically 4 setups of StockPro and see how we can trade with the future, right? Future lot. So this is trade from the top. Now we remember how we traded, how we figured out. Now we can, the beauty of futures is that we can buy as well as sell. Both we can do. So if there is a, let's go through the trade from the top. Price is at a significant uptrend, right? Is at the end of a significant uptrend. A bearish reversal pattern, candlestick pattern has formed. So what are those patterns? The bearish engulfing, bearish harami, evening star, right? Or the dark cloud cover. These are the bearish reversal patterns. MACD should have a bearish crossover, right? RSI should go from 60 or go below 40. Wait for candle to leave 10 moving average and wait for price rejection. Enter from 1 day. I would say enter from 1 day and see the price rejection in the 15 minutes chart and make sure the stock has plenty of room to fall, right? This is our condition for trade from the top. So let's see, let's go and look into some of the stocks and see how it could be materialized. So I remember some of the stocks that I'm going to discuss with you. I've discussed with you previously also. Hindalco. The time frame is going to be 1 day. And see here, you can see the bearish engulfing pattern has formed. This is a bearish engulfing, MACD crossover, RSI crossover. And this day, which is 9th of January, you can see the piercing candle. Candle is piercing 10 moving average. And this candle, which is forming on the 10th of January, you can see the price rejection. If you go to the 15 minutes graph, you'll be able to see it clearly that 15th January, there was a clear price rejection. And you can enter. So let me just take you there. We need to go back quite a bit, but I think Zerodha has some problem. It doesn't show me here. I think we are right here. This is 10th of January, right? 10th of January, can you see? The candle tried to go up. There's a price rejection at this point. Can you see? First, you see the date at the bottom, 10th of January. The price started to go up, but there's a price rejection at the top and the stock has come down, right? That is when you will enter. You know in your heart that the stock will be, is under the resistance, right? The stock is under resistance. And see here, from this day only, our mindset is negative. But this is a clear confirmation that stock doesn't plan to go up in 15 minutes. And you can buy, you can sell one lot of Hindalco. You have to look into the future stock, right? And now let's discuss about its stop loss and what should be the stop loss and what should be the target. So this is going to be your stop loss. If you're shorting your stock at about this point, when the price rejection has happened, so the 277 will be our stop loss and 273 will be our entry price for sell side. Now what will be our target? The first target, we can find targets in various forms. You can put the pivot point and you can find the first target. You can see the first target comes out to be, if we sell it at about 273, the first target will be 261, right? First target, if we are selling it about at 273, the first target is 260, right? Which is about 13 points, and it's pretty a lot amount. It's roughly about 3,500 is the lot size for Hindalco, and 13 points, roughly about 45,000 rupees in just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, 6 days, right? So this is trade from the top. Similarly, you can see it here, like MACD crossover, RSI crossover happened here, bearish engulfing, right? Again, it falls. You see the price rejection on this candle. Can you see the price rejection on this candle? First piercing happened and the price rejection on this day, which is 8th of November. And where do we enter? We enter at 265, and top of this candle is going to be our stop loss. 270 is our stop loss. Our target definitely is 261. Very short target. We want it to be larger. In case this target is broken, with price rejection, you can definitely expect the support at the moving average. Okay, so you have the target, you have the stop loss. I have shown you Apollo tire trade as well. Apollo tire trade also happened, although at the same time. See the beautiful trade here. This happened recently. So here there is a rejection, price rejection at the higher level, then the pivot point, and then bearish engulfing candle, and see here the price rejection at this place. 2-3 days price rejection, and you can enter into the stock on the sell side at this level 289, and it comes down to, it gives you good about 7 points, not many points, but still you do get some points. Let's see here, this was a beautiful trade, right? Now see, this is a bearish engulfing candle, preset top, and MACD crossover, RSI crossover, and the candles have come below the 10 moving average, right? This is where you will enter 277, and it brings you down to 258. So good about 20 points fall you get here. This is Apollo tires, right? So you identify such trades. Here is a piercing candle, MACD crossover, RSI crossover, and see how the trade has come down. So sell one lot, right? So this is how you trade from the top, right? Now let's go to the next, trade of resistance. So again, it's the same thing. Like you need to look for the stock in the downtrend. 10 DMA or SMA must be facing resistance from 200 moving average or SMA or 50 moving average, and must be facing resistance from 200 DMA. Wait for price rejection in 15 minutes. At the higher level, enter when the price leaves 10 moving average in 1 day or 15 minutes. Confirm trade with MACD and RSI bearish crossover. I can show you some recent trades that are happening, and one of the trades that I remember, which I was pretty much sure about and which happened exactly the way I thought. Bharti et al. Right? Look at the beautiful Bharti et al. Let me remove all these pivot points. They're creating unnecessary confusion. See here. The moving average itself is taking a resistance. Can you see this moving average? 10 moving average is taking a resistance. MACD crossover, RSI crossover, and I have put the Ichimoku cloud also, and I could see that it is experiencing a resistance. And see the beautiful fall. You could have shorted it on this day, right? When the price was, the price had a rejection at the higher level, right? That was the day, but still we didn't have any confirmation. So wait for moving average to take a resistance and price to come below 10 moving average. That is when you need to enter into this trade. Exactly same way we entered in, we found a trade in Castrol India. So Castrol India has also experienced a resistance. You can see at this point, stock is already in the downtrend, tried to go up, experienced a resistance from 15 moving average, and it has come down. You can see this. And if you put the Ichimoku cloud, you will see that this is below the cloud. It's at the same time. So all the parameters are confirming it. That was Castrol India. Another one that I was telling you is Jan Irrigation. This is the trade. When you look at it, it's below the cloud, taking the resistance from the cloud. And if I remove the Ichimoku cloud, this is actually, taking resistance from all the other moving averages, right? The price is taking resistance from 200 moving average and 50 moving average. So this shows that the trade is pretty solid trade. All right. So these are the trades of resistance, right? So what will you do? You will sell a lot, a future lot, right? The beauty of futures is that you can sell if you believe that the market is going to go down, and you can buy when you believe that the market will go up. Now see, at this point when we are selling Bharti Airtel, so what could be our entry price? Our entry price to sell was at 400 rupees, and the stop loss was basically where this moving average is, or you can take the top of this candle, or you can take little deeper stop loss at 13 rupees. which is going to be very, very high up. You can take the moving average as your stop loss, which is 406, right? And what will be your target? So target will be wherever the stock has experienced support earlier. This could be a target. And if this support is broken, then you can see there was another target here. From the previous supports, we had one target as 387, from 400 to 387, and the next target that we have is 374. Like if it breaks that support, it may further go down, and then its next target will be 362. And you can also find out this targets by using GAN levels, right? I will explain you how can you use. I will explain you how to use the GAN levels. Just put the closing price in the GAN levels and find out the upward and the downward targets. So that was, this is selling a future lot, right? And the stop loss, you need to have a capital of roughly about 1.5 lakh rupees, so that if the stock plays a bit like, see for example, you might have shorted it at this point, right? 418. That was a good, like you saw the price rejection at the higher level, and Ichimoku shows that the stock is under resistance, right? Suppose you short it at this point 418. Of course, it remained below this only all throughout. But suppose by any chance you could have shorted it at the point 409. But the stock next day went up to about 414 rupees. And the lot size of stock is, let's look into the Bharti Airtel. What's the lot size? Bharti Airtel. The lot size is 1700 and the normal margin is 82,450. And if it would have gone about 5 points up, you would have been in a loss of 6,500 rupees, right? So you need to have the margin that is required to carry forward your position plus some extra money so that you can trade in one lot of futures. Okay, so that's the trade of resistance. The trade of resistance from 50 moving average, 200 moving average, or resistance from the cloud of Ichimoku. So this is Bharti Airtel, Castrol India, and right now I told you I'm finding even Jan irrigation under a lot of stress. Even I'm finding Jan irrigation under a lot of stress, right? So these are the stocks that you can go for shorting. Okay, now let's go on to the next and see what's happening. Trade from bottom. So when you are looking at the trade from the bottom, what should be your situation? Price is at the end of a significant downtrend. A bullish reversal candle has formed in 1 day time frame. You know what are the bullish reversal candle patterns? It is bullish engulfing, bullish harami, or it is going to be morning star, or it's going to be piercing pattern, right? MACD should have a bullish cross. MACD's bullish crossover must have happened. RSI should go from 40 above, or it should go above 60 from below. Wait for the candles to leave 10 moving average and wait for price rejection at the lower levels. Enter from 15 minutes candle and make sure the stock has plenty of room to go up, right? So now we can check some stocks and figure out what could have been our possible entries. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how do you filter out such stocks. I have told you the top stock research, you can go and you can find out the bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing. You can see the trade from the top, right? Trade from the top or trade from the bottom. I'll just take you once again there. So top stock research, and look for engulfing patterns. So here candlestick pattern, you can go to the bullish candlestick pattern and you can look for you can go to the 1 day weekly, one candle weekly candlestick. No, I'm looking for 1 day candlestick pattern. So let's look into here bullish engulfing, where all bullish engulfing happen. Chennai Petroleum Steel Authority, SAIL. Let's look into SAIL. What has happened today in SAIL? So Chennai Petroleum is, yeah, it looks like bullish engulfing. Yeah, although a tiny bullish engulfing, but it does look like a bullish engulfing. And let's see tomorrow, because the moving averages are very, very close by. Either direction movement is possible. Either direction the movement can happen. The stock may go up. This 10 moving average may become a resistance and it further may come down. So there's a price rejection at the higher levels. Can you see the price rejection at the higher level? So this may be a fictitious movement, right? What would be my stance? I'll go to 1-hour graph and see what's happening over there. So in 1-hour graph, the stock is experiencing a resistance. If the candle and MACD crossover, if RSI goes below 40, I'm going to sell it. As I told you, see here, there's a price rejection. This 10 moving average only will become a resistance. All right. So go for fine tuning, go to 1 hour and see what's happening. The stock is experiencing a resistance, right? It experienced resistance here, again try to go up, and again resistance. It may come down tomorrow. All right. So this is, basically, so let's see if we could find more bullish pattern somewhere. Bullish harami. Bullish harami, I'm looking for a basically future stock, right? I'm looking for a future stock. Bullish piercing. No. 3 white soldiers. I'm looking for different morning star, none. Abundant baby bullish. Tata Teleservices. Indo, no, these are none that I'm looking for. So anyway, let's go to the bearish candlestick pattern. Let's see if there could be a possibility stocks may be experiencing some kind of resistance. So bearish engulfing in NIT Tech. So let's see what's happening in NIT Tech. If there is a bearish, see in all the NIT stocks right now, I can see the bearish nature setting in, right? The bearish nature setting in. Right, let me make it 1 day. 1 day will give us good idea. See, today it definitely opened the gap up and then it went up and came down and it engulfed the previous candle, but I won't say this is a very, very prominent sign. I want to show you, if I'm correct, I want to show you Mindtree. Mindtree had a bearish engulfing candlestick here in this particular place. MACD crossover, RSI crossover, and there's a price rejection in this candle. If you can see, it's been falling down for many days. There's a price rejection today as well. There could be a possible downside tomorrow, which is 16.5. See, 1 hour graph also shows me that the stock is taking a resistance. So we'll have to watch out all these stocks tomorrow, all the tech stocks tomorrow. Tata Elxsi. Let's look into Tata Elxsi. In 1 hour, 10 moving average is taking a resistance, and let's look into what's happening in 1 day. In 1 day, the stock is actually having a price rejection at the higher level. Can you see there is a price rejection? There could be a possibility that the Tata Elxsi may come down. Right, there is a possibility that the Tata Elxsi may come down. Let's look into Tata Com. Tata Com is definitely under heavy resistance. I wanted to look into Tata Global. Tata Global also seems to be under a lot of pressure. Right, Tata Global. Let me just close it, and we'll see Tata Global. Okay, Tata Global is here. So see, Tata Global had a good massive fall yesterday, and after that today also. Now see here, this was like a piercing candle. Can you see this candle? This was a piercing candle, and this was a bearish engulfing. This is a piercing candle. The candle pierced the 10 moving average. Price rejection at the higher level, and then the next 2 days, stock has been just falling down. So what you can do is, you can actually sell its 1 lot of future, right? You can sell its 1 lot of future. So this is trade from the top. We are looking now at the trade from the bottom. So trade from the bottom are going to come from if there is a bullish engulfing pattern that has formed. So let's look into some bullish engulfing pattern somewhere. If you could find, I mean, it could be in the past or it could be recent. It doesn't matter for us to, for our analysis. I can tell you reversal patterns you need to find. See here, this is almost like a morning star, MACD crossover, RSI crossover. Stock lupin has gone from here to here. On which date is this? 22nd of um, August. So you're going to buy September month future, right? From 946 it went up to 1046. So you have to select your date clearly. This is the trade of resistance. When it had when it experienced a resistance, you could have gone short the moment candles come below the 10 moving average. So that means your shorting price was 1461 and remain short, and it will bring you down to 108182. So starting from here 1444, this is month of 3rd of April, and that month only it has come down to 1326, right? So in futures lot you can trade with any which way, like finding out the good trade. Let's see, I want to show you power grid. Look at power grid, powerful trade, right? It struggled for quite some time on this moving average, 200 moving average, and then took a support and went up. That is what our next slide is, trade of support, right? Trade of support. So what should take a support? Either the 10 moving average should take a support, or 50 moving average should take a support, and 200 moving average, or the price should take support on any one of them, right? Wait for the price rejection at the lower level and then enter into the graph. Look at this, the stock is taking support, the price of the stock is taking support on 200 moving average. 10 crossed and price is taking the support, and that is why you see such a bullish movement in the upward direction. Okay, so you can buy one lot of futures whenever you see any of these things happening. For tomorrow on my radar is, Siemens. Siemens had a piercing candle today, or rather I would say not piercing, it opened gap up and then it bullishly went up. So two stocks that I have for tomorrow on my radar are Just Dial and Siemens. Let's see how they perform tomorrow, right? I'm going to write the price over here for today so that we can check it tomorrow what's happening in these two stocks. So the first stock that I have on my radar, Just Dial, and the next stock that I have on my radar is Siemens. Right, and what are the values these two stocks have? Let's see that. So Siemens is at Just Dial is at 433 and Siemens is at 1055. So this is at 433 and this one is 1055. Right, so we'll just watch it, what's going to happen tomorrow, right? And we will have to both upside and the downside targets in our mind whenever we sit in the market, because any news can change the direction of the stock. So today, the pattern that Nifty has formed looks very, very bearish. It went up and came down with price rejection massively. So let's see tomorrow what happens. Market may be a little weak. So hope you're understanding how do you trade using the 4 StockPro setup by using a support and the resistance. Always, I always trust support trades, right? For example, support here, right? So 1053 and it goes up. whenever you get the support, always create a position. Always, like I've seen, every time moving average takes a support, you must create a position. The moment price goes above the 10 moving average, enter into the stock, right? And you can buy one lot of future. Your buy price at this place will be 968. Your stop loss will be at 961. The you know um, low of this candle where you are entering, or low of this candle if you want to keep a little deeper stop loss. Or I would say, for me, I would be preferring, the moving average as my stop loss. This moving average, is going to be my stop loss here, right? And enter at this point whenever the candle opens the above moving average, and the moving average will be my stop loss. Okay. Now, many opportunities. Every time stocks take a support, they heavily go up. Like most of my members, they just sit down and find out supports and the resistances. See the beautiful resistance that stock has taken, right? 200 moving average, and the tweezer top, and the bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, and the piercing candle, and see from there the downfall, right? So even here there was a resistance. Now I want to show you support, trade of support. So this was a trade of support. Enter somewhere here. When the candlestick, the price goes above 10 moving average, MACD is positive, RSI becomes positive somewhere here. Enter at this point, 617, and this will take you to 877. 617 to 877, roughly about 260 points. Huge. It's very huge. Okay. So support and trade. In that case, you need to buy one lot of future, right? See here the beautiful support. Support of what? Support of price on 200 moving average, right? And then 10 moving average, it's a double bottom. And then 50 moving average, almost, like you can assume this 10 moving average to be like this, little like this, right? Taking the support on 200 moving average. And this stock from here has a non-stop movement in the upward direction, right? From here to here. So trade of top, trade of bottom, trade of, look at this, bullish harami, right? And the stock has gone up. So trade of top, trade of bottom, trade of support, trade of resistance. You can take one lot, buy one lot, and if you want, you can hedge your positions too. See here, beautiful trade of support, and the stock price has gone up. Stock has gone up from here to here. All right. So this is how you can trade in different lot of futures. So always put, now when you want to trade in futures, important point, you have to put the cash graph, you have to put the future, and then you have to enter into it, right? Why is it so? Because when you will put the future, you will not be able to see the graph clearly. So suppose this is Reliance Capital, and I put the Reliance Cap graph. If I put the May future graph, you will see the graph will not look as good as you see. See here, it looks broken, right? Whereas when you look into the Reliance Capital graph in equity, you can see clearly what's happening in this stock. Price rejection, and the stock is heading down, right? You get a complete picture. So when you want to trade in the futures, you have to have the cash graph also available to you, and you can trade in all the 4 possible ways. And the last way that I trade in futures is by the Ichimoku cloud breakout, right? Ichimoku cloud breakout, upward or in the downward direction, either way. Like I did give it to you. I mean, even ONGC was looking very good to me by looking into the Ichimoku cloud. Oh no, sorry. It had to break this barrier, like it was heading up. That's what I was watching, but I want it to be above 193. When the stock is above 193, then only I can think of entering into it. So like I gave stocks Biocon and Infi and HDFC based on the same criteria. And also, I gave Oro Pharma. Oro Pharma I gave 2-3 days back. That was also based on the same argument that the stock was actually breaking the cloud. See here, it gave an upward movement after that. Still it is holding itself, and the cloud ahead looks also green. Hopefully, if tomorrow, in a day or two, if it doesn't break the cloud, it will go up, right? You have to watch out now carefully. If I remove it, let's see how it looks in our pattern. So it's in a very delicate situation. Suppose the next candle forms here and next candle forms here, then what will happen? The candles will form like this and the stock will go down. If next candle forms here little above, then stock will go up. It will be like this and the stock will take a support and it will go up. So it's right now in a very indecisive mode. Stay away until you see a clear situation happening. Stay away from the stock, right? So there's not much of clarity. RSI is between 40 and 60. MACD is also open. We don't know what direction the stock may take a turn. So this is how you trade in the future stocks. This is how you trade in the future stocks. All right. So now we'll be going on to the option stock. Now we will head towards option stock. That is also an entity. That's also a tool for us to hedge our position. As I told you, futures also help us in hedging our position. Suppose I have Oro Pharma stock and I don't want to exit. So what I can really do is, when I see these bearish engulfing patterns forming, I can sell one lot of future Oro Pharma and remain in the sell side till I see a reversal, right? So all the futures and the options are basically hedging instruments. All right. So hope you will keep that in mind and then trade in it. Now see here, I want to show you recently happened beautiful trade. This is Jubilant Food. Bearish engulfing candle, MACD crossover already has happened. RSI is bearish and see how beautifully it's falling down, right? And when it took support, how beautifully it went down. So with this, I'm signing off. Next will be options, and options also one has to trade very carefully in options. So with this, I'm signing off. We meet in the options class.